Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad that you're here with me on this wonderful Tuesday night. We are going to be doing a Starbucks cold cup with an ombre style glitter. First, we're going to talk about how you need to prep your cups as well as do the demo for the glitter. So let me know if you are here and if you're watching, where you're watching from, how your weekend was. I want to see you in the chat. Hello, Lori. If you are here on the replay, make sure you leave me a comment. I go back and answer as many comments as I possibly can. There are timestamps for the replay viewers, so you can kind of skip through to the parts that you want to watch. And just a reminder, you can always watch at double speed or 1.5 speed. I know that's how I like to watch replay live streams. So hello, Lori, Yasmin, and Miriam are here. Laura's here from Illinois. Good old Illinois. Misty and Brenda is here. Hello, hello from Georgia. Anybody? Okay, I'm assuming that if anybody here is in Texas, I hope you are doing okay from the tropical storm and you're not getting too much flooding and you have power. But if you're on the live stream, I'd assume you have power. But anyway, Maria, Eileen, hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So to do the Starbucks cold cup, before we get into the actual demo of doing the ombre glitter, this is just a Starbucks cold cup from Starbucks. They're like $4 maybe. You can just go there and buy them. They come with a top and a straw, and you buy them at actual Starbucks. The most important thing about Starbucks cold cups is that you have to prep them. If you don't prep them, your Bright Tone can't stick to it. So it's going to peel and look weird, and it's just really, really important that you prep your cups. So let me know in the chat if you've made a Starbucks cup, or if you want to make Starbucks cups, or you have no interest in making Starbucks cup. I'd love to hear. Clyde and Michelle and Griselda, Chris, Marisol, hello. I'm so glad to see all of you. Okay, so the first thing is that you have to prep. So you're going to need 400 grit sandpaper. So to prep this, all you're going to do, you have to do this. You have to sand it, but you do want to be careful over the decal and like any of the writing, but you still need to sand over it. It's really important. And pay special attention to the bottom, because this, if most of my Starbucks cups have been 100% fine. I've been using them for a very long time. I use them almost daily because I am obsessed with iced coffee. And the only time I had one cup peel after I dropped it, but it was only on the bottom. Like the rest of it was fine. So just make sure that when you sand, you're giving it extra love at the bottom and the top rim. So I'm going to show you really quick just how to sand it. It doesn't take very long. But like over the logo, you're just going to go really lightly. And then you can kind of do the rest of that all the way around. Because sanding it will sort of take up the logo just like a little bit, but you won't really notice. And then you can give it a little bit more pressure around the top and the bottom. I should move my microphone. Is that really loud? That's probably worse. Okay, so right now, if you're just hopping on, I'm prepping the Starbucks cup with 400 grit sandpaper, paying extra attention to this bottom portion. And the bottom. Okay, so then what I like to do is I like to then wipe it clean. This is not the cup I'm going to use today, so I'm not going to continue on with that. But what I do after I sand it, I'm going to wipe it clean, and then what I like to do is spray this with clear spray paint. Like a couple light coats of clear spray paint. Be careful, you really don't want to get it on the inside, so like tape it off. But just get this a nice coat of clear spray paint, because I just think it helps kind of adhere a little bit better to whatever this has in it. That is optional though. So you just have to, you don't have to use the spray paint, but I like to use the spray paint. So you have to sand with 400 grit sandpaper. If you're just hopping on, this will be uploaded and you can see me sand this tumbler. But once it's sanded and cleaned, I spray with 3 coats of clear spray paint. It does not matter what kind of clear spray paint, anything will work. I personally like the Rust-Oleum brand. But after I sand and I clean it, I do 3 coats of clear spray paint, and then I let it dry for 48 hours. Bright Tone is water-based, and where was I going? Bright Tone is water-based and spray paint is solvent-based, so you have to let it off gas for that 48 hours before you add any Bright Tone to it. Again, the spray paint is optional, but I recommend it personally. It seems to work well for these cups. Okay, any questions about prep? Any other questions about prep? Sand with 400 grit sandpaper. Go carefully over the logo, but then really you don't have to be careful. It's going to look a little scuffed up, but that's okay. As soon as you put Bright Tone on it, it will shine right up. So let me know if you have any other questions about prepping. Laura says she had seen somebody tape off the bottom. What do you think? I actually think that would work well if you just tape off this bottom section right here and then just prep the rest. Then I would leave some tape on it for the first few coats of Bright Tone, and then I would replace your tape every few coats of Bright Tone. But I think that would actually work well because it seems to be hard. It seems to stick a lot better to the top than the bottom. So you may want to tape off just this bottom section. You wouldn't have to sand that bottom section then. You would just sand where you wanted your paint and glitter and Bright Tone to go. Sand and wash with dish soap and wipe with alcohol. Miriam, yeah, that's fine. Just let it dry before you put any Bright Tone on it. You want the alcohol to completely dry before you put any Bright Tone on it. I see hello to Jessica. You do, yes, you have to sand to prep. You have to sand. Jamie asked if you're careful, could you use shellac? You could maybe use the shellac instead of the clear spray paint, but the shellac would not replace the sanding because the shellac doesn't necessarily stick to plastic. That's really only for the stainless steel. So you could try it. I've not tried it though. The 3 coats of spray paint, how long in between? I usually wait about 30 minutes in between my coats of spray paint. Just read your can. It usually has the directions. It usually says like recoat within 1 hour, but just read the can of spray paint so you're following those directions. Any other prep questions? All right, so then we can move on to glitter, right? We sanded, we spray painted, and then Miriam, I think fish soap sounds absolutely disgusting, but I know you meant dish. So I have this spray painted. I actually think this has a coat of Bright Tone on it. I've had this one sitting here for a really long time. What I totally forgot to do, you guys, I totally forgot. I usually cut a circle out to put over the logo. Let me see. Hold on. I usually do a circle of removable vinyl. I don't have the exact measurements because I forgot to do this, but I have a whole other tutorial about the logo size, so I will add it to the comments like when this live is over. But if you want to go look at that's not so bad. The other video that I have, I go in detail about the size of these circles, okay? So I'm just gonna like do the best I can here. This is a terrible circle, but this is just removable vinyl, and I'm gonna stick it right on the logo. Usually I would cut this with my silhouette, and I wanna say it's like not a perfect circle either. It's an oval. It's like 2 by 2.2 or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just going to cover up that logo so I don't get glitter on it. I have the measurements. I just don't have them right this second. But if you search my channel later, and underneath this video in the description, I put a link to that video and I have it right in there. So you can go look at that. You can get the templates for free in the logo and wrap sizes. Absolutely. You can also get, if you guys want free templates to go just around here that say like, I don't know, hello autumn, or like, I love coffee, or whatever. I have free ones on my website. And let me get the address. Let's see. Right here. Here it is. If you want some free ones, you can go on my website and get a bunch of free ones. And then, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this removable vinyl just to protect my logo because I don't want any glitter on it, and then I will add the glitter. I am going to be using, I'm going to do a Halloween themed, and then I might do like a Jack Skellington coffee or basic witch, or I don't know yet, type decal. I'm using Midnight and Harvest Time, which is just kind of like a rusty kind of orange color, and a black. I'm going to do these together and we're going to ombre them. Before I actually get into the ombre, I am going to try to move my camera so I can get a better angle, because I feel like when I apply my glitter, it's hard for you guys to see what's actually happening. So I'm going to attempt right now to move this camera, so my apologies, into this kind of awkward spot, but I think you'll be able to see the cup a little bit better. So let me know in the chat if you have done an ombre style tumbler, or if that's why you're here because you're struggling with it. Let me know where you're at with the ombre style. Okay, I am just going to gather my supplies. Okay, I don't see anything. Oh, here we go. Miriam says she's tried but failed. A Starbucks cold cup with just trying to make sure that my sound is working. Not very successful, says Judy. Okay. So there are several different, lots of people are struggling. Okay. So what I can do is show you what works for me. Remember, if you have been around and followed me for any amount of time, you know that I don't believe that there's any sort of perfect way to do things or best way to do things. I think there is a best way for you to do things. So I'm going to show you what I do. Okay. And let me do this. This is going to be better, right? Now, do we like this view better so we can actually see me doing that? What I like to do is what I call the tilt method. So I like to tilt my cup back and forth to, hold on, oops. I like to tilt my cup back and forth to get the glitter to naturally fade. That's what I like to do. Some people like to use like a tea strainer, and we can talk about some of the other methods after we do this demonstration. Because if this is the method you have tried, again, remember, things take practice, and this is what I have found works for me. So again, I like to brush on my bright tone. Hold on, I forgot I need to get this glitter ready, but I like to brush on my bright tone when I apply my glitter. You guys know this if you've been here, but you may want to do this while it's spinning, but you won't be able to get the tilting if it's on your cup turner. So I recommend being able to hold it while you do this. So I like to dip. Remember, we're going to dip and drip. Let your bright tone drip off of your brush. And then you're just going to brush it on your tumbler. And I use this same method for whatever kind of tumbler I'm using, right? If I'm using a stainless steel, any size or whatever, this is what I do. So I'm just going to dip and drip and apply my bright tone. Amanda says she followed my steps and it came out great. See? So I'm hopeful that a lot of you guys will like this method, but I can go over some alternative things you can try after we do this demo, okay? But remember that things take practice and they're not always perfect, right? I might do this one right now and like there's no telling if it's going to be good or bad. Like you just don't know. We still like hope for the best. And you can always do a second coat of glitter. If you don't love the way it is, you can always do a second coat. So I'm going to do orange on the top. And I'm going to start with that. It's kind of like an orangey gold. There's like orange and gold flakes in it. And I'm going to basically cover this whole top third. Like the whole top third, because I know I don't want any of my black glitter to find its way to this part of the tumbler, okay? So I want to get full coverage on this right here. And now I'm going to tilt my cup, and I'm going to I'm going to aim my glitter like right here and let it fall, and hopefully get it to fall about like right here, like so that bottom. So the top third is going to be this orangey gold. The bottom third is going to be black, and then I'm going to let it fade into each other in the middle. Does that make sense? So I'm going to aim like right here, and I'm going to let this glitter fall down the cup. You guys see it falling? I'll show you. Okay, so you can see it fading as it gets to about right here. Okay, so that's color number 1. Now I'm going to go in with color number 2. And for me, that is this black called Midnight. And I'm going to do the whole bottom of this cup to get full coverage. Right? I want it to have full coverage on this bottom third. Okay. Oops, it's kind of starting to mix together. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And now I'm going to tilt the cup this way. Okay, and again, I'm going to aim like right here, kind of like towards the bottom of where my glitter is. And I'm going to let it fall down the cup. These colors look so good together. Ah. Okay. And now oh no, that's okay. I'm going to kind of tap off some excess, and I'm going to go back in with my first color, okay? And this is just going to make sure I have full coverage, and I'm just kind of aiming, honestly, in the middle, still tilted, but I'm letting this fall and touch any bright tone that might be exposed. I just think it helps to go back in, back in with that original color. Sorry, I'm totally like out of view. Okay, so I think it looks pretty good. Let me go to this other view. What do you guys think? I generally always start with my lighter color, Maria, because, hold on. Oh, wait, I forgot. Never mind. I always start with my brighter color because the black is going to be more noticeable. Like, your darker color is going to take over. So you want to, I always do the lighter color first. Okay? All right, let me, I have a little bit kind of pooled up on the top, but I'm honestly not that worried about it. It'll probably come off like when I kind of shake this, but I might just clean it with a rag. But this actually came out better than I thought it was going to. Okay, let me fix my camera real fast, and then we can talk some more. Okay. Okay, all right, now, both. Ah, the back. Okay, so, oops, I'm having trouble. So this one will probably need a second coat as well. Just if you look closely, like, you can kind of see some spots, but honestly, like, and like, I didn't do the best job, like, kind of at this edge right here, you can kind of see. So I will likely do a second coat. And to do that, I will dry brush it, you know, with a paintbrush. And then I will use glitter glue, do the glitter glue over the whole thing, and then do the exact same process to coat it again. I will do the orangey gold, like this like goldy orange kind of color, tilted. I'll tilt it back to do the black, and I'll literally do the exact same thing again. There are a couple spots I missed on the bottom, so I'll probably do a second coat. Okay, regarding the top of the cup with the curve to it, the lip, do you make sure your bright tone gets all the way under there? Honestly, I don't normally try to like fill the lip with anything. I usually try to just to go like right up to it, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all. So then with these Starbucks cups, you want to make sure that prep is the very, very most important part of this whole thing. But you also want to make sure that if you're going to use this for yourself or if you're going to try to give this to customers, you really tell them that they should not be squeezing it. And these are a little bit more susceptible to breaking if you drop it. So you just want to be extra careful with it. Do you guys have any other questions? Today was so quick. It's only been 20 minutes or 25 minutes. An update for the live stream. Starting next week, we're going to move. I know we just switched our days, but we're going to move from Tuesdays to Mondays. So starting next week, our live stream is going to be on Mondays, same time, 7 p.m. Central, but on Mondays. And my pre-recorded tutorials will go out still on Thursdays. So we'll have Monday live stream, Thursday video. Just a little bit of an update. And if you want this glitter, it is called Harvest Time and Midnight from Glitzy Creations, and you can use my link in the description, and my discount code is Alison10. If you want that, the Starbucks cup comes from Starbucks. I unfortunately don't have a coupon code for Starbucks, but you know, that would be great. And then this is yellow, just random removable vinyl. I used 400 grit sanding pad from the Crystalac company. I also have a link to them in the description to prep it. We sanded to prep. Julia, I think, asked about the prep. Yeah, sand with 400 grit sandpaper and then spray with 3 coats of clear spray paint. Let that dry for 48 hours and then you can add your glitter. Maria, all of the layers I would do, it really just depends on the tumbler, but this exact process is going to be the same as any other process. But I will seal with glitter glue, and then I will do like 4 or 5 coats of bright tone, give it a light sand. Whew, there's a bug. Like 3 coats of, and then keep doing 3 coats of bright tone, sanding every 3 coats, right? Keep coating your bright tone, sanding every 3 or 4 coats until you get a smooth surface. Once it is smooth, I will, once the whole surface is smooth, then I'm going to add a decal around the logo. And then, yeah. And then I'll keep going with my bright tone, if that makes sense. I have a few other tutorials on Starbucks cups. I will try it. I'll film my process of finishing up this cup and maybe post a part 2 if you guys are interested in that. I need to get better about doing that with my other live streams. My question is about base painting. I have UW and the pigments in primary colors. What else could I use for a black base? To get a black base, you will not want to use universal white, but you can use the black pigments if you have the black pigment in bright tone, or you can use black spray paint. Just make sure your spray paint dries for 48 hours. I sand my cup, but have to do the spray paint like she said. Yeah, I just recommend it. The spray paint is optional, but I really do think it helps. Brenda asked, at what point will you remove the vinyl? I'll remove it probably after I do a second coat. I think I'm going to need a second coat. I'm going to have to evaluate. If I don't need a second coat, I will just remove it when it's dry. Otherwise, I'm going to do a second coat and then I will remove the vinyl. Do you seal this cup after? I will seal the glitter with glitter glue and then I will do bright tone. Nicole, I don't really recommend anything other than bright tone, because you want to use something that is water-based. People use resin on these. I wouldn't recommend that. But if, you know, the best quality water-based polyurethane is bright tone, and that's honestly what I recommend. Anything else is going to yellow over time or scratch or just not really work long-term. Miriam, you don't want to use acrylic paint. Now, if you're using a Starbucks cup, acrylic paint is probably fine, but on a stainless steel tumbler, acrylic paint really is just not a good base because it's not a strong paint. It doesn't really bond well, so I would try to avoid acrylic paint as a base paint whenever possible. Does that make sense? Like if you were to do, like if you had a primer paint down first and then acrylic paint, you could do it. But yeah, spray paint is a better choice, or universal white with the pigments or any of the crystalac paints are a better choice, than acrylic paint. Okay, so again, recap, we sanded, we spray painted, we let it dry for 48 hours, and then we used bright tone. I used bright tone, to apply my glitter, but you could use glitter glue as well, whatever you prefer to use. I've got 1 coat of glitter. My glitter is from Glitzy Creations, linked underneath here. And then you can mix acrylic paint into bright tone as long as it's like 1 little tiny drop. You just can't go, your volume of acrylic paint or anything mixed in with bright tone can't be more than 3%. So I highly recommend that if you're using bright tone that you use the pigments, but you absolutely can put a drop of acrylic paint in there. And then I'll let this dry. I'm going to get it fully smooth. I'm going to add a decal, which I will film that whole process for you. If you want some free Starbucks logo decals. You can get those on my website. There's so many on Etsy. Like, a lot of people have them. So there are so many options if you don't want to make them yourself. But if you do want to make them yourself, I have a tutorial on how to do that linked underneath this video. Last thing, just a reminder that live streams starting next week are going to be on Monday nights at 7 Central. Okay, so no more Tuesdays. It'll be Monday, and then recorded videos will be on Thursdays. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram, and if you have any suggestions on future live streams, I think the ones I have coming up are in my head. Next week, I think we're going to do a fall peekaboo, like with leaves and fall kind of peekaboo situation with micas, like a mica swirl, and then I'm going to try to have a couple different cups at different stages so we can kind of go through the whole process together. I want to do some more pen tutorials, and yeah, so if you have any suggestions, don't hesitate to reach out on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. I love hanging out with you guys so much. And if you decide to make one like this, if you decide to do something similar, make sure you post it on social media and you tag me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Alison Crafts. I just love to absolutely see what you do with inspiration from my tutorials or with what I've taught you. So please make sure you tag me so I can see it. And I love sharing photos on my stories and stuff. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. I will see you guys next Monday. And this week's video is all about water slide decals. So if you are interested in those, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when I upload that video on Thursday. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.